Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from Sydney English Teacher. Thank you for joining me live here on Facebook and on YouTube for episode 4 of my Question of the Day series. I hope that you have found the episodes really helpful so far and that you've learnt lots of wonderful tips and suggestions and practical advice for you to improve your English learning skills. Today, we're going to have a look at episode 4. And the question that was asked to me recently, which I thought would be really helpful for all of you, is I have no spare time. What can I do to improve my listening skills? That's a really good question because we're all really, really busy. We all have so much to do, and there's not enough hours in the day. And it can be quite frustrating by the end of the day when we haven't had the chance to sit down and to actually practice our English properly or to learn something new for our English. So, I want to tell you that it's okay to feel this way. It's completely normal, We are all busy. We all have no spare time. So, what we need to do is to make the most of the time that we have and to multitask, to do a few things at the same time so that we still get to practice our listening skills. And by the end of the day, we can feel like we've actually achieved something for our English and improved this important skill area. Should I tell you some tips? Let's have a look. The first thing that I recommend is that you multitask. That's right. I'd like you to do more than one thing at a time. Do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things at the same time. And the best way for you to do this and to include your listening practice is to listen to the radio. So if you're really busy, the best way to improve or to practice your listening skills is to multitask and to listen to the radio while you are doing something else. Maybe while you're driving, or maybe even while you're working, if you're allowed to, while you're cooking. Fabulous. Such a great time to listen to the radio. Music is a really, really great way to develop your listening skills without even trying because it's just in the background and you're listening to it, you're absorbing it, and you know, it's helping you. And you're having fun at the same time. It doesn't need to be music. You can listen to the news or to a talk show. But the main thing is that you are listening to English, whether it's spoken or whether someone is singing, it doesn't matter. But practice multitasking. For those tasks where you don't really need to concentrate 100%, have the radio on in the background and you can practice your listening at the same time. What next? Well, another piece of advice is to listen to a podcast. Have you done that before? Well, I'd like you to choose a podcast topic that you're really interested in. It could be about business, it could be about travel, it could be about English, whatever. But listen to this podcast and use your travel time, such as when you're on the bus or when you're on the train or when you're in the car, use that travel time to listen to the podcast and to learn. Not only will you improve your listening skills, but you'll improve your knowledge of that particular topic as well. How exciting is that? The more you listen to something that you enjoy, the more you will understand. Why is that? Because you are focused. You want to listen. So you automatically will understand much more. And you will take away a lot more from that experience. So listen to a podcast, go and choose a topic or a channel that you really enjoy and you want to learn a little bit more about, and use your travel time to listen to it. Fabulous. Next, I want you to have more conversations. You know, you speak to people every day anyway. Hopefully in English. If not, make some changes there so that you do speak with more people in English every day. But use the opportunity when you are speaking with other people to practice your listening skills by really, really carefully listening to what the other person is saying. If you slow down and really focus, and really concentrate on what they are saying, not only will you improve your actual conversation and your interaction with this person, but you'll improve your not speaking, or maybe speaking skills too, but you'll improve your listening skills at the same time. How good is that? So have more conversations, interact with more people, and use that as a listening opportunity. Whether they are native speakers or not does not really matter. The main thing is you're listening to English and you're interacting in English about that topic with that person. Sounds good, doesn't it? Finally, another tip is watch more TV and more movies. How good is that? What great homework that is, Nicole. So I'd like you in your downtime, in the time where you switch off and relax, I want you to watch movies or watch television or even go to the cinema. How fun is that? Relax, enjoy, but at the same time, listen to English. It's bonus listening practice while you are relaxing. You might not be actively doing something like writing or taking notes or looking at vocabulary, but just having the chance to listen to English is a bonus and will bring great results. So, definitely in your downtime, when you relax, make sure you're watching TV or watching movies or YouTube, whatever it might be, because that will really improve your listening skills without even trying. So, a quick recap of the key points that I want you to remember from today's episode. Number one, multitasking is the answer. Listen to the radio while you're doing other things, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're traveling, whatever. Listen to the radio and you will improve your listening without even trying. Sounds great. Number two, podcasts are great. Listen and learn with podcasts. You can learn about a topic you're interested in or find out some more information about a topic you're interested in and practice your listening skills at the same time. When can you do this if you're really busy? While you're traveling. We all travel from A to B every day, whether it's to school, university, work, the shops, whatever. Use that time in the car, on the train, in the bus, on the ferry, wherever. Use that time to practice listening by listening to a podcast. Sounds great. Number 3, focus on conversations. You're going to have conversations every day anyway. So listen really carefully. Take that extra time and make that extra effort to improve your communication and interaction by listening really carefully to what the other person has to say. And number 4, watch movies. Best homework I've ever given you. Watch television, watch movies, and while you're having fun and relaxing, you have the bonus of listening practice. So obviously watch those movies in English, no other language. Wonderful. So there are a few things that you can do to practice your listening skills if you don't have much time. Here's a quick bonus tip from me. If you really, really want to improve your listening skills quite quickly, then I would suggest that you take notes while you are listening, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. Taking notes while you're listening to something really makes you focus. And by focusing on what you hear, you really quickly develop your ear for listening. And more importantly, for listening to longer things or to more complex language. So even if you don't have the time, I'm sure you'll find 5 minutes a day to sit down with a pen and paper and just to listen to, the TV, the movie, the radio, the podcast, whatever it might be. Listen for 5 minutes and take some notes, and you'll be training your ear for English language success. So, look, if you have any questions at all about English learning and how to improve, what you can do step by step, then send me a message at sydneyenglishteacher.com.au/ask a question, and I'll be more than happy to include your question in a future episode. So do come back again soon. Who knows? Your question might be answered tomorrow. I hope that you've really enjoyed today's tips. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, please come and join my learning community. You've got my website and my blog for hundreds of useful learning articles there. My learning library and online courses are coming really, really, really soon. Very excited about that. And of course, you've got the support of other English learners and myself in my Facebook community, on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group, and over on the YouTube channel. So do make sure that you join me there. And I say a big thank you for joining me today. I hope that you really enjoyed episode 4 and you were able to take away some really practical, useful tips for improving your listening skills without trying. If you found today's episode enjoyable or helpful, please share it with your family and friends so that they can benefit too. Anyway, thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I hope to see you again here soon on Facebook or on YouTube for another question.